Hey everybody, welcome back. I didn't take my Sony camera with me to my game last night for 9/23, and the rest of the Mondays in September, I haven't posted the videos. What I will do is do a long discussion video and an appreciation post. First and foremost, my friend's dad has been my regular opponent recently for BattleTech Alpha Strike Monday nights. Some of my gaming group wants to play 40K, one-page rules, or classic BattleTech. I'm still stuck in my Alpha Strike kick, and it's not a bad kick. I actually like maneuvering and coordinating and planning out strategic operations with large amounts of units. Alpha Strike is perfect for that, even at 500 points, 750 points, or 1,000 points. And I'm still waiting for the day that the Battletech tournaments open up to 500 points, 750 or 1,000, whatever. One day at a con, I'll get to play. So, my opponent from last night was running a combined arms group, and you can see it. And I will post the Instagram link in the description below. You can see the full bat rep, and as well, I took the same video, and it is on a YouTube channel, and I'll post it somewhere up here. You'll be fine. So, let me do a share screen after I make sure I got the list. Got it. What I wanted to do was do a share screen moment and discuss the list I would have run instead. And a lot of people are like, well, why would you just not hand this to your opponent? I will email it to him. So based on the minis that he had, I just redid the list, and the only thing I added was the thug in the Atlas because I know he has a thug in the Atlas. Um, so let's start off with the units. C3 Command Company, Cyclops, LRM Carrier upgrades, Sprint, Second Lance Panther C3 Master with two LRM upgrades and a Sprint. Third Lance is a Thug, Grand Dragon, Atlas with a C3 Master and a Spider. Why? I needed to have at least three units that were high speed that could give flanking LOSs to better utilize the shots. Next, we have a C3 Lance by itself, Shiltron, with two Sprint C3 helicopters and an SRM carrier. Upgrade. So with the Shiltron and SRM carrier providing their own ECM bubbles, they can protect their C3 network. The SRM carrier could be a one-shot, one-trick pony, rolls her out around corners, and cracks somebody for 6 points of damage. The last lance and a half is a two Tokugawas. My opponent, I gave him my extra Tokugawas after I had an order done. So instead of using the regular Tokugawas with the flag, knowing I'm playing against heavily armored units, the MRM version does five medium and five short is perfect. Two strikers with upgrades, and then two yellow jacket arrow fours. Going card to card, this Cyclops doesn't have ECM Mars Panther. Four LRM carriers at IF4 are amazing. Sprints have probe and recon. This perfect spotting for artillery without tag. Thug has ECM. Atlas doesn't have ECM, so the Thug has ECM. Shiltron has ECM with the two remaining sprints, and then the SRM carrier has ECM. So that's an effective. That's three ECM bubbles. Yeah, to protect against my ECCM. So down to here with a yellow jacketed skill three, you need eights without a spotter, seven with tag or a spotter that has recon. You could get it down to six if the yellow jacket was in safe place and covered, apparently. So the striker light tanks with the 3053 upgrade, I was going for longevity. 6 points. This thing could punk a light mech if you could hit with, shooting. You could take out a Locust, you could take out a Sprint, you could take out Wasp, Stinger, any light mech on equal playing terms for 26 points. Yeah, you got wheeled as a disadvantage. But in an urban map, this would be kind of a very scary force. So I do not, I'm going to stop the screen share. I didn't set the table. And the reason why I was concerned about terrain was I love this. And that's why this is in the background. Um, Urban scenarios and urban combat, especially when you have little terrain doesn't offer real advantage for vehicles, infantry, and mechs that are tender. When you do have control LOSs and you don't have long thoroughfares, then it becomes interesting because your opponent cannot predict your movement, has to respond accordingly, and the orchestra of dice rolling in combat changes immediately with the amount of terrain. Now, helicopters being light, not heavily armored, and flanking are the kings of urban warfare. Just my opinion. You can throw it out later if you don't like it. However, if you have a helicopter that has tag or probe and spots, now the artillery is back being king because you can hit targets you normally wouldn't be able to see and kind of end your opponent's home field advantage. So the takeaway for me from my opponent's play style is that I made mistakes, not on purpose, but I forgot. He had a shield turn as well. So anytime my mechs got together, he just pounded them to death. The other issue that I forgot is they have 4 LRM carriers. So once that clicked in and I was able to circle around and get to them, I eliminated them in 2 turns. Hit them with artillery in 1, sending people for the cleanup on turn 3. Well, technically turn 3 and turn 4. The ongoing outcome is that I was mech heavy, but he managed to annihilate 1, 2, 3, almost 5 mechs last night. So unit selection, unit building, list building should focus around security and longevity, especially when you are not running a mobile strike force. So hear me out. I will go over my list, excuse me, shortly, and you'll see where I did some things that were different. Let me set it up first so I can find it. Got it. The number one thing that I did differently on purpose, whoops. Okay. What I did different on purpose is that I wanted to have a effective list that annoyed my opponent to the point where they quit. And there is no negative point about it. It was more like, can we make this work? Will we make this work? And how do we keep the opponent occupied, busy, and still giving him something to chew on as far as the force? So my list consists of the Zeus, Awesome, Rifleman, Hunchback, Spider, Valkyrie, Enforcer combo with 2 Maxim heavy support. You in the fire support roles, no infantry, 2 Shrek PPC carriers, Peregrines, Yellow Jackets, Crow, Chiltron, Akuma, and Sprint. So 7 helicopters. So first off, sniper position, Zeus -2, my overall commander. I purposely wanted to have my opponent in a false sense of security with 42 inches of reach and be able to crack somebody with 6, 7, or 8 for attacks. Perfect. Awesome. Always clickbait. Rifleman, always clickbait. Hunchback was supposed to live longer. I made a mistake. Spider survived. Valkyrie was clean. Phoenix Hawk didn't get shot. Enforcer was good to go. So, reason why I took the Maxim fire supports is that I didn't know what my opponent was running, didn't know what to expect. And if I wanted to be cheesy and have additional indirect fire, that was the plan. Shreks were supposed to be my long range snipers. Peregrines do what peregrines do. Yellow Jackets were strictly there to bomb hostile targets. Last night, I pulled out the crows on purpose because they have energy, ECM probe, recon search, and tag. These, in my opinion, are worth the $5 upgrade to a regular sprint. At least you get a gun, and then you get all the electronics. And when you have the sprint right next to it, especially the C3 one, Crow by far is worth a 7-point upgrade, even though there's no more armor, and it's the same speed. All right, Chiltron. Chiltron Prime with 2 Arrow 4s, C3 Master, ECU, English Q5, its own tag, and the fact it has 10 total health for 77 points, it paid for itself, bombing the life out of targets. Can't brag on it. If you have one, run it. And of course, I broke out my wife's Akuma in the sniping role. Yeah, she hit nothing for 75 points. 75 points could have been a whole bunch of other stuff. Of course, she's mad at me. I took her car out without permission. Husbands know what I'm talking about. So, all in all, great match, solid battle. You see the list. Back to terrain issue. Some people don't like a lot of terrain, and that's their opinion. Not mad at it, and I respect it and understand it. However, your force should match your terrain, or your force should match your plan that will not survive contact with the enemy but can adjust to the terrain. And with that in its whole concept, thanks for hanging out with me for another refresh session. I need to do a video about infantry units based on the fact that I just got a handful of Maxims in from the Kickstarter, and I wanted to discuss what battle armor I'm going to be running with my Lyran Guards, with my Davian Heavy and Assault Guards, and with my cavalry units. So look forward to the next video. If you enjoyed it, like, comment, subscribe. I'll have it all on the screen. Talk to you later. Peace.